Welcome back, Yard Talk. We back with another one, and this time it's in person. Honestly, this is a redo. Man, it's alright, cool. It's cool. You know, shit happens, man. You know, had a little moment with the family back in Texas, man. You know, it's all good. In the neighborhood, we keep pushing, we keep rolling. If y'all can see, I got some guests in the car with me today. Black fucking Moss, yeah. Man, it's not just one, it's two. That's enough for me. Man, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves. Who want the microphone first?
Yeah, you good. What's good, y'all? It's Reggie Volume here, half of Black Moss, producer, DJ, audio alchemist. Yeah.
What's good, guys? My name is Hans, one half of Black Moss, rapper, vocalist, creative direction. Yeah, kind of a good guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Most importantly, yeah.
Man, we see what people don't know, that there's a lot of creation. There's a process to this creation, and not just my creation with this putting this together, this video, but also y'all creation. Like y'all have a masterpiece out right now. Like that shit
Thank you.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
Like listening to that shit, it's like, yeah, that's, I don't even know. You know that one like meme? It's like, hey, what's that? It's art. Oh, I like it. Picasso.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I heard. That's exactly what I heard.
Yeah.
But going on from there, what's been some of y'all inspirations around?
As far as I guess like overall inspiration musically, growing up, like first thing I was really inspired by was like just car rides with my dad. He would play like jazz stations, but in that same sense he would play a lot of compa, which is like a main genre in like Haitian music.
Yeah.
So it's like a blend of like, it's like African island zouk, like, and then there's like, it's like it feels like salsa as well, like mixed in there as well. So that was really what inspired us. Like my like radio stations, like jazz stations, there's like those light FM stations where they just be playing everything. So stations like that really opened me up to be really receptive. And I think when I just started getting into like finding my own avenues to get music, you know, besides the car stations or even like church and stuff like that, it's like more I started like really getting into like, that's when I started getting into Ye, Lupe. I'm forever inspired by the Touch the Sky video, the song and the video itself. And yeah, from there I just started opening up. I just started being inspired by a lot. Like I think one of my main inspirations, if I look at like an era, is definitely like the good music era. Has influenced me like probably more than anything else, just not only because of like the push for sound and how like you can curate a bunch of different artists under this one like umbrella that isn't like, you know, restricting. It's just more so inviting and encompassing and embracing. I think above that too, like musically, but like just the art direction of a lot of different things that they were pumping out as well. So that's like main inspiration. As of recently, like, you know, just growing as an artist, you know, you grow from being able to reference things that inspire you, that were like full out thought out ideas, and then you just kind of you learn to just reference the everyday mundane life that you gotta you yourself process and think about in more meta ways, and the more you're able to do that, the more you're able to pull from raw, genuine places, and then the more you're able to understand how that translates into the languages of other mediums. You're able to create something very timeless, very beautiful. What seems unprecedented, because nothing is unprecedented, but it just feels like a breath of fresh air. So
yeah, definitely. Damn, that's a
yeah,
lot. I like that.
No, yeah. So for me, like growing up,
definitely grew up in the church. So I was getting a balance of like gospel a lot. Specifically, I'd say like I mean my dad is he's a minister, but I feel like a lot of times in the car with him, he'll be putting on to a lot of bands and things that he grew up with, like a lot of his favorite bands and artists, like listening to like a whole bunch of like greatest hits of like Curtis Mayfield and James Brown and War, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie.
Ooh. Yeah.
And then even something that really was pretty, I feel like specific was used to always play this fusion jazz band called Return to Forever, which was like Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke. I'm forgetting the other legendary like musician, but the project, like the album that they put out, was basically like medieval jazz music, and I was just like, yo, this is probably like some of the wildest shit I've ever heard in terms of a blend. But it was crazy because I feel like instrumental music resonated, like I resonated with that a lot more initially before like music on the radio. So by the time I was listening to like a lot music on the radio a lot more when I got older, I feel like I was kind of already listening with just a heightened sense of like, I guess, like a musical sense where I'm like picking things apart and trying to figure out like if I'm hearing the bass or if I'm hearing the keys or anything like that, even before like fully getting into being a musician myself. And aside from that, I would say also like I said, my mom, and a lot of times when she would sew in the basement, like, you know, sewing things for different people, whether that would be like prom dresses or like just different things that she was making at the time, she would always throw on like some like Yolanda Adams or like Trinity, who at one point was like, I guess you could say Trinity was like the Destiny's Child of gospel. So yeah, that blend was cool. And then also I really had a unique listening with like being able to go through like my older brother's CDs, because the CD collection was crazy. So like me diving into his bag of CDs, like that's when I was first coming across like NERD and Missy, and even all of the artists that like Timbaland would go on to produce. Like it was like random stuff like Miss Jade and artists like that, but it had Timbaland production, so I was able to kind of like build my ear from that. And then you know, like scouring the web for music on in high school, on like LimeWire and Aries. That's kind of when I started. I feel like I put myself on like this self-study plan where I was like, all right, if I want to produce, I have to actually like study all of these greats that have been producers before me.
Yeah.
So I would literally go on LimeWire and like download their discographies and then put this shit on my iPod, and then just kind of like take it all in. And yeah, so I feel like from there, that's kind of how it started for me, influence wise. And then also like speaking of eras, I feel like the Star Trek era was very influential on me, just because of like when you think about all the types of artists that they had, I feel like they all represented a different they all represented like a specific pocket. So like you might have had like the Clips was like rap, but also nobody was rapping over the shit that the Clips was rapping over, and nobody was talking about what they was talking about from that perspective. And then you had like Khalees is essentially like the mother to all of the like alternative like black women artists, and not even just black women artists, but a lot of alternative black artists. Like they look to Khalees for like, you know, her influence in not only sound but also like style and fashion as well, and her image.
Shout out Khalees, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, then you had that, and you had like, of course, like NERD, Neptunes. I'm trying to think also like even like you know, the niche following that like Family had, and then having a band like I don't know if y'all remember like Chester French was like on. Chester French was actually a part of Star Trek 2 at one point, and so that just was really interesting how Star Trek to me represented this world of music, but it was almost like the alternative to. It wasn't alternative music, but it was the alternative or left of like everything that was going on in the center.
Yeah.
And I felt like just taking that in as a teen, I felt like that inspired me to just approach music that way. I'm always thinking of like, okay, I can produce in any genre, but I'm always going to make it like me and make it like, okay, how can I like push it forward? Like we can do an R&B record, we could do a punk record, we could do jazz or gospel, whatever, but how can we just give it a little bit more of like just a different take or a different feel, so that it just cuts through like what everyone else is doing, you know, not wanting to sound like, you know, everybody else. So yeah, that's kind of
the forward thinker.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely love that shit. Like, from what y'all explaining to me, like, it's kind of like looking at a puddle of oil with a little bit of water in it, and there's so many different colors, so many different sounds that y'all, you know, have been inspired by. And you're taking pieces of these sounds that you grew up with and putting it into your craft and your art and kind of twisting it and make something new.
Yeah.
That shit is beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's that time that SpongeBob did that art. Perfect. Like, yeah. And the thing y'all created with your recent project, what's the story behind coming up with this recent project y'all dropped?
I feel like it's so many like layers to it.
Yeah.
Well, first, I was coming from DC at the time, and I think it's really cool that I feel like it was pretty aligned that we ended up working together, because I knew Hans and the rest of the homies through Chris, my homie back in DC, and at the time I was looking to move, and somebody in the crib, like Ronnie was like, yo, like, I'm about to move, bro, and like you like one of the first homies that we wanted to hit, because you know you already kind of have a rapport with everybody. And at that moment I was like, oh shit, I'm about to move to Jersey City. Like that was kind of I just knew it immediately. And also literally I think a little bit after that, Hans had hit me about a reconstructed kind of like remix tape that he was working on for his Vagabond tape. He wanted to just kind of have producers remix it. And when he hit me about it, I was like, yo, this crazy that you hit me, because I'm about to move into the crib in like a month. Yeah. So the fact that was kind of aligned, I feel like is a really important part of the story of how we came together to create what we made. And then after that, I mean, once I moved to Jersey City, I sent a couple remixes beforehand, but then once I moved there, we started kind of just like, you know, picking through the best ones and the best sounds. And then I also had other beats that I had just laying around, and we started coming together on those. And then like what started as like a 2-pack ended up being, you know, this masterpiece that we ended up making, and that's just because of, you know, the things that we talked about and the conversations that we had in the crib. I feel like it allowed it. I feel like there was more to what we were making than just, you know, a song or 2 songs and just putting them out.
Yeah.
I think it was like the art itself. I feel like it was music that it also was packaged with just a certain level of like emotion and like grief and like maturity, kind of like coming of like another coming of age, like after, like of course you have a coming of age as a teen and everything like that, but I feel like the continual like coming of age that you have as an adult, trying to just protect your like inner teen and your inner child, is something that was like a specific like ethos tied to the project.
Yeah.
When it came to us losing like 2 people that was close to us at the time, and we really like bonded over that, not only just as musicians, but I feel like we bonded as brothers during this time, taking like trips to the whip, going to waves in the whip, having this convo was about so many different things. And that pretty much just like opened, I feel like the door for us to just keep building what we had started with those couple tracks initially. So yeah, that's pretty much, I feel like that's kind of part of like the story and how we developed the Black Boss tape. Yeah.
Man, yeah, I love that. And I love like, what are like, matter of fact, no. I love how y'all are proving and showing to many people there's no limitations in the direction you can go with music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said previously, like y'all are just implementing so many different styles and genres into one and creating something different. And I mean, even on the track, even on top of it, it was labeled alternative rap.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's becoming more of a more popular thing to see. Whereas back then, you know, a lot of people know about alternative rock, a lot of people know about other alternative music, but to hear alternative rap is like, what?
Yeah.
But when you listen to it, it's like, oh,
yeah,
that's alternative rap. It locks in people immediately.
I was gonna say to what you just said too, like, I feel like usually when people use the word alternative, it's like niggas just figured some shit out, so they gotta, and they don't know what to call it, so they just say alternative.
It's not this.
It's not this,
right.
And it's like, and I think that's the beautiful part. Like even to what you said, bro, about like, the like endless directions that music can go, right? Like it's sound, bro. Like it's sound, and you gotta like push it forward to where, you know, this sound feels like everything that you're either experiencing, going through, that you're thinking about on a day-to-day basis. Like you gotta like really push for that, and that's why like working even in the process of the project, I think one of the more beautiful experiences for me was like working with Reggie, who's like a producer that like is able to create that kind of like platform for you to like, you know, push yourself. And I felt like I was given a platform to push myself cadence wise, vocal, like performance wise, like vocally, and it just helped us create this whole like sonic experience, because like what people get caught up in is like trying to make something that they think is gonna work, or they try to make the thing that sounds like the thing that they like, and it's more about like figuring out what is the element of what is the elements of the things that you like, and how do you find a way to take, you know, a partial piece of all these things and being able to put it together, so that way it makes sense to what you're doing, instead of directly like either imitating, copying, because you see a lot of that like happening now where people make like really super safe things, and again, it doesn't have to be unprecedented to be different. It's just, you know, it's just the frequency of like what you feel from it. It's like, okay, like I can tell like this was intentional. I can tell like they went back 3-4 times, like this person went back, rewrote the verse. Like I mean, even in the process, like the single for the project, we like was the last record we actually ended up finishing, which we finished already, but it was just like after getting through like the project and like, you know, hearing it out, sequencing it out, it was like, yo, like the single's missing something. And then like we went back in, we shifted the drums in that shit to just like to let it like fully lean into the universe that it was trying to really be in. Yeah. And like that's like a testament to like just our whole approach was like, yo, like we want like we like really care about this, like we really care about it, we really care about, and not how it's received in a way of like numbers or anything like that, but just like how it's received as far as like the experience someone has when they listen to it. So like we cared about that till like, you know, the fourth quarter of the shit, and like just try to get that done. But yeah, you just gotta like put care into it. You gotta like also be brave, like be brave where it's like you're not making super safe shit. So
right.
Yeah. I think also something.
Also, my bad if you're not allowed to curse.
Nah, it's straight. I mean,
cool. I just realized also.
I mean, when it comes out of YouTube,
yeah. Like after this, after the 10th
Yeah, I think
he took use of profanity.
Yeah, yeah. I would just like to apologize.
Hey, I already go around and say this shit's not for kids.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But nah, like even what you were saying about the alternative rap thing, right? I think it's tough. It's tough because like it's so many, like it is so many different genres. But then I do understand like how as an artist you get to a point where you're like, oh man, I don't want to be put into a box, right? While I do agree with that. There's also these boxes that music has been put into that we probably wouldn't have found some of them if they weren't in that initial box.
Exactly.
And I think about that a lot too. Like and even like I wouldn't say it is. I feel like it is something that's becoming more prevalent. People like really diving into like not even just I guess alternative, but more so just like the full extent of what they can make, or they're just pushing themselves to make like different shit than what they made before, or now they have the ability and the resources that they feel like they can really just become that full version like of themselves, which is beautiful. Like I think about an artist like Lupe. To me, like he is the epitome of like what I feel like alternative hip hop or alternative rap was, and is like I think for him to come in and do Food and Liquor, but to then followed up with the Cool,
right?
Come on,
the Cool to me is arguably like the best like alternative rap album, like that album to me, like at that time I feel like it was pretty unprecedented for him to be an artist of his caliber and to have like Patrick Stump from fucking Fall Out Boy featured on your album and producing on it, and he had a record from Mike Shinoda from fucking
is it Fort Minor or no?
Well, I think Fort Minor and Linkin Park.
Okay.
It's both of them, it's both of them. But like, I'm like, bro, like that's fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, bro.
Then for him to have the fucking I forgot what that record was, but he basically did like this rock alternative punk record on there, and then he did the Japanese cartoon shit. So like, I feel like an artist like that, he kind of, even the perspective of the things he talked about, I feel like everything that he kind of like laid out with those first two albums was like, bro, like there's a whole bunch of kids, and specifically a whole bunch of like black kids that are like, yo, we needed you. Like we needed him at that time to show us like, yo, you can do this other shit. Like even and him, you know, going on to they didn't really end up making anything as a full on project, but to have like, you know, Lupe and Kanye and Pharrell link up with the Child Rapper Soldier project. Like the core of those three entities, even like including the Neptunes and ERD with them, with you know, Ye and Lupe, I feel like alternative rap, like I think they are like a holy grail of that realm, because they from a art standpoint, but also like a style, image, perspective, art direction, like everything that they were doing, lifestyle, like everything that they were doing, like how they were branding themselves to a degree. Like I feel like you can track a lot of things back to them, to that tree, and say like, yo, if those three artists didn't exist when they did, if they didn't put out the music when they did, like I'm pretty sure like Black Moss wouldn't exist.
At all.
Tyler wouldn't exist. Rocky wouldn't exist. Fucking like this,
if you want to put artists in the category of alternative rap,
even like even adding like Cudi in there, like I think also too, like the alternative, I think it's also it's tied to like a sound, but I also think like messaging too.
Yes.
Because if you think about like a lot of what specifically those niggas was talking about was like, yo, like very much life music, very much protecting the inner child. Yeah. Like Lupe, Ye, they were like my first favorite like rappers. Lupe specifically, in a sense where like where he was rapping, and as a kid you were like, I feel like he's like considering me, and I think like it was weird. It was weird hearing someone rap about the things that sometimes I would like wonder about. I think he had it in like a fully fleshed out way because obviously like he was older, he went through like more experiences than I was as like a teenager. But like it was just interesting to hear that and be like, okay, there's these other things that I could think about. And I think messaging also plays into alternative, into like something Reggie said too about like alternative is really more so like about like, yo, this person can make the spectrum, right? Like an alternative artist, right? Like, cause you had them making the child rubber soda shit, but then you had them making like all these different things for different artists, like like Ye and Pharrell both produced for Push, and you know that's a whole other world than an NERD world, or that's different than maybe like Graduation, or that's different from like or all the college dropout, late registration, and then how that shifts. It's like all these different artists embrace like the spectrum of sound, and like another thing too is like, I don't know, sometimes I also think about like with the genre shit is like, it's also piggybacking off of what Reggie said about like, you know, where it seems like a box, but sometimes like alternative feels like a box too, because sometimes it's like, wait, like why am I an alternative version of this thing? Like why is it not just like, you know what I'm saying? Like if Prince came out today, like they would probably be calling him like alternative. And like you look at all these like different artists like that were really experimenting back in the day, that a lot of people like pull from, that a lot of people are inspired from back in the day, that were experimenting. Like if they came out today, like would we call them like alternative, right? Like I don't think we would. Like I think it's just something where it's like people embracing how like that one box genre can be more expansive than you thought. Like I think sometimes I think about that as well, in terms of alternative.
It's like when an NWA song got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. NWA is rock and roll. Rock and roll is hip hop. All that shit's music at the end of the day. So to say that this is that and this is that, it really falls, even if it's in its own box. Think about the bigger picture. It's all music.
Yeah.
And music comes in different shapes and forms. Art comes in different shapes and forms.
I think that's a great point. The music piece, because something I was thinking about earlier too when we was talking about the genre thing, is that typically when you hear like a fire song, you don't preface it and say like, bro, like I just heard this, like you just be like, bro, just listen to this shit. Or I found this artist, just like listen to the artist or listen to that song. Or if a song is timeless, some of the best songs that are timeless, like they're just timeless because the music is fucking good. It doesn't matter if it's rap or R&B or if it is one of those artists that like legendary artists who are more so just defined by like who they are and what they make, as opposed like a Prince or MJ. You're not really calling it like pop or whatever at this point. You're just saying, oh, that's just MJ or that's Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of what they do.
Yeah.
Like artists, I think, and I think that's also I feel like that's something to strive towards, where like, you know, people, you know, bump some shit for me and Hans individually or as Black Moss, and they like, yo, like, I just know Black Moss is going to give us some good shit.
Exactly.
I just know it's about to be some like some shit that I'm gonna probably be able to spend like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Or like I know I could run this shit in the gym. I could like run this on my walk, on my run, like in my room when I'm just like I need some music to think to, or I need some music to inspire me to think of something. You know what I'm saying? Or inspire me to create something. I think that's really a goal of ours, where like somebody can bump the next like Black Moss shit and we not even telling you like what the sound is or anything.
Yeah.
We just drop it, and it's like you just know it's about to be some crazy shit.
Yeah. I even yesterday I got asked a question about one of my homies because he's like, how would you differentiate yourself? How do you think yourself to be different from other artists? Like, I don't got the answer to that question. I think let me drop some more music, and whatever you feel is what you feel. But I think over time that answer will show itself. I don't gotta answer that question.
Yeah, the music will speak for you for sure.
Yeah. What would y'all say has been the best advice given to y'all? Now this doesn't have to necessarily just pertain to music, but it can pertain to life, if anything.
The best advice given to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man. Yeah, what?
Nephew, don't trust that hoe.
I'm dead. Like musically or just like
just
like,
in life?
In life in general?
Yeah. Honestly, for me, it's not like one specific quote or anything like that. I think just more so, I think ever since I was a kid, both my mom and dad like instilled in me to just like, you know, not have to like follow the crowd. That was like a big thing. I think that served as such a like foundation to, obviously I think myself as a person, how I, you know, would like to say that I think of myself in the world, but also just like my artist approach as well. And like, you know, as a kid you hear that and you're like, oh, this person, you just trying to be a parent, like you just trying to control me and shit. You just don't want me doing dumb shit. Right. But like you get older and you realize, like, you know, as many times as they was telling you that and telling you that and telling you that, and then following it up with the application of principles around it, you learn how to like take that approach and apply it to, like, you know, your artistry process and everything like that. Like those things were like those minor little decisions, when I'm just bringing it back to artistry too. I know you said like life and shit, but like when you just in your laptop and you're just choosing a different drum than what you're hearing, or you're just applying a different plugin than what you're hearing, because it's just like innately it's like I just want to like find out for myself this thing, like. And a lot of that, like a lot of the, you know, the years of them telling me, like, you know, be your own person, and how important that is, I think that's just set like such a precedence, like over probably anything else, when it comes to my artistry. So yeah, that's like probably the biggest advice that I think I carry out as a torch, you know, still till to this day. So
yeah, I don't know if I would say I don't know if anyone gave me this. I feel like it's more so about for me it's more so like what I've experienced in life. But there's a couple things that come to mind. One of them being like you can't like like just conquering the fear. Like fear in any facet of life is always going to fuck you up, and you can kind of always like you can go back and reflect and be like, okay, I might have made. The fact that I ended up in this predicament because I made this decision that stemmed from fear. But if you also go back and reflect and say, okay, those times where you made a decision based on like I might be afraid to do something, but I'm still going to do it.
yeah,
Like those are the times that you actually gain more from those situations, or something grew from that situation, or like seeds were planted and then you was able to see like the flowers blossom in the garden, you know, sprout and everything like that. So one is to like definitely conquer fear. Two, I would say always be like curious, like always be curious. I think also that curiosity, like in any facet of life, I think is going to allow you to live longer. It's going to allow you to not like age so quickly, like from like, oh, I'm gonna take a different route to go home today, or like I'm gonna travel. I got some time off. Let me go to the cafe down the street, or let me go to this new clothing shop and just chop it and see what I'm gonna just go there and like I'm gonna chop it with the owner or and the people that that's working there just to see like I don't know who they are. It may spark a conversation. So a lot of times I feel like that's kind of how I've approached life. Even you know, even me now, I already kind of had a base in Jersey before I got there, like just knowing Hans and the rest of everybody else. But I think me fully embracing the move to move somewhere that like I hadn't really been before, I feel like it opened the doors of life to me in a way that like there was like newfound community, newfound inspiration, art wise, like life wise. So yeah, like that, and then also just being just like having the audacity to just like try shit.
Yeah.
Taking that leap of faith.
Try the shit. Take the leap of faith. Jump off the porch. Like really just go get it. Like you can't continue to like make these decisions like thinking like, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens? Like you gotta just like go out and do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Same way I rolled my dice and met these guys. Like, shit. Lucky enough.
I think to what Reggie said too, like everyone has their fears, and like literally being scared is such a natural state that you end up like being in from time to time throughout life. It's just not okay to not be brave, like because everything you want is on the other side of fear. So you gotta be able to like just try it. So.
Hell yeah. That means don't be a bitch. I'm playing chill. We're not gonna put it like that.
Exactly. Hey man, sometimes you gotta hear.
Sometimes
it like
you gotta
that,
put it like that. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta hear it like that, bro. Unfortunately, but that's just how it is.
Cause that's love as well too, bro.
Yeah.
That's also love. Bro.
Stop being a bitch. All right. Stop being a bitch and come on. Oh shit. What do y'all say is y'all like dream collab? When I say dream collab, like sometimes like even I have fantasies. I'm like, damn, I wish these artists would finally work together and make a project or make a song or two. Who are those artists for you, y'all?
For us to work with, or
well, that would be the second question. But to see other artists work together, what would it be like y'all dream collab? Like shit, if they work together, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, so
it's not. I feel like it's a lot of talented artists out, or just a lot of artists that I fuck with that I can see them doing some really dope shit together. Some I feel like you kind of feel like, okay, why hasn't this happened already? Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Tyler and Doja is like an obvious.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like even like soundscape wise, I feel like I'm just curious to hear that. I feel like they're two creative people. I feel like that shit would be tough.
I don't give a fuck what the media got to say about Doja Cat. She is the fucking GOAT. She doing the shit.
Also, like, I feel like from a competitive standpoint, not like pitting them against each other, but from a competitive like standpoint as artists and what they put out, I do feel like a Doja and Doechii collab would be really crazy. Yeah. Especially to and speaking of genres, I feel like those are two artists that I feel like you don't really have a box to put them in.
Right.
And I feel like while they could give you maybe like one of the hardest like rap songs, they could probably give you an even stronger, or if you know like the same like it, they could probably give you like an even stronger like pop record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I think also like I hear like a Jordan Ward and Planet Giza. Yeah, I feel like it would be really tough. I mean that's just a few, but I feel like there's a lot. I feel like you can kind of
I feel like it's just about like. It really stems from, I think producers definitely have like the more range of options when it comes to work with people, because like I could be like I could have 2 different beats being worked on by 2 different artists at the same time and not even be in those rooms. Like their reach is like pretty expansive. So like I think it always stems from them reaching out, or just other people being open to working with them as well. Like collabs, like I did hear about like there possibly being like a Pusha T Madlib tape, which I would love to
we
like.
need that.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
Thought of another joint too. One that I feel like we've actually talked about this.
Yeah.
I was talking to Rugda about this too.
Yeah.
But Max B and Katra.
Bro.
Max B and Katra.
Yes.
That actually.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That might.
Like,
yeah. That'd be nice, bro.
I feel like. Fuck. What was I about to say? So there was like, I think there was like a whole situation around it, and the tape got taken down. But like, it was like Knowledge did these remixes of like old Meek Mill freestyles.
Oh yeah.
And like hearing those made me like wonder, like I wish there were a lot of more artists that were like these street rappers, quote unquote, I guess you say. It's like I wish they would like lean more into like, okay, like how would Meek sound over like Knowledge beats, and how would like certain artists sound over like maybe Alchemist beats, maybe like more Chops or like Conductor. Like I think those are the collabs I'm like really interested in. Like there's a record on an ASAP album with French Montana. I think it's called like Brother.
Yeah.
And like just hearing them over that, like hearing like I would love to hear these like rappers that are known for like these club records get a little bit more like internal. And maybe still talk fly shit, maybe still talk that same shit, but putting their vocal tones over different kind of textures and chops. I think that does a lot for music. I think that does a lot for their fans as well, because it doesn't restrict their ears or their taste palettes to like, one location of life being the club or like the car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it does more for like the listener and the fans. It does more for the artist, because some of those records might force you to be a little bit internal in terms of like the messaging as well. So, because you're even seeing it with like seeing Mock over like a K-Tronada, like a couple K-Tronada records. Like, there's ways where these artists can like mesh with like people that make these other types of sounds as well. It's just about like being open. That was something in the process, like me and Reggie was like, figuring out like, all right, like how's our sounds gonna like come together? But it's more about the conversations. Like, a lot of people come from the same. A lot of these artists, they come from the same background, same cities, even. But because of like what they make, they seem so like separate. But it's like it's a lot about like perspective. Something I always say is how like To Pimp a Butterfly and Dirty Sprite 2 are like the same album to me. It's just from 2 different lenses and 2 different perspectives. Even if I go down the track list, and how you'll find like these like parallel records, and they're just coming from different perspectives. So, but then at the same time, you have like a Kendrick and Future making records together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot about finding like that just that harmony. Where like what seems like 2 different worlds can come together. So
also, I guess this is like another layer to I guess this specific topic that we're talking about. But I did see Juicy J's doing like a jazz. He's doing like a jazz like sounding project that Robert Glasper is actually working on. And also Robert Glasper is working on an album where he's actually I think he said like that there's going to be like like half of the album is him sampling and reinterpreting his own records, but doing it with like a different
producer,
a different producer and artist that he fucks with.
No,
So he might do a record and then he might give it to like a Juicy J. And
Yeah.
like, you make your own, you know what I'm saying, interpretation.
Also, Lil Jon doing I think he dropped a meditation album.
Something like that. He did.
So
he did.
I think it's just good to see
it's
like these
happening.
niggas like, you know, grow, like
it's happening.
like, you know, embrace being older, like, you know, obviously with STAAXZ and stuff. But I really like this because like it just shows like just the endless possibilities of like what you do. Like these niggas don't be like in the club, like, or maybe they do be in the club, but I just don't really see them being in the club as much as they were. Like what you listen to like changes as well. Like the things that you're receptive to like changes. Like you get older, you just start playing shit like jazz.
One thing I've been hearing a lot from all these artists, like even Q, I mean, just like a lot of different artists have said that they're in a day and age where they're embracing their age.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful,
they're embracing how old they are. They got kids, they got families, they got responsibilities now. They got all such things going on for them, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the beautiful part that like the older rappers, like, you know, a lot of the blog era like like, you know, Golden Childs and like just, you know, people that are running that era, they're older now. They got kids, like they on like their second kid, you know, growing grays and things like that. Like, you know, Braun got a gray beard, like, you know what I'm saying, like, but like he's still putting up the numbers that he's putting up. And I think like a lot of it goes into like, you know, obviously how hard these artists were working on like the craft itself, but I think also like them embracing each step of the way. Like, you know what I'm saying, like it's like when a ball player gets older and they start posting up more, you see like their feet are on the ground a little bit more than it was when they was like rookies, where they're trying to jump all over the place. And it's just, you know, adapting to your style and finding out your style of play. I think finding out and being fully entrenched in your like style of music where it feels timeless and it doesn't feel like, well, you're, you know, you have your pockets where you're opening up to like the nuances and like just like, all right, what are the kids doing, but how does that play into what I do? Like, right. I don't need to make a full-on trap record, but that 808 specifically, I know how that 808 could live in my world. I know how that type of bass line I know how this chop style could live in my world, and I'm gonna do that. And that's how we like bridge a lot of the shit that's going on. So yeah.
Also, real quick, I gotta say, because I'm really looking forward to this project, but the LL Q-Tip shit, like, bro, I'm a very big fan of Q-Tip, and it's crazy. Me and Hans was having this convo about like LL's catalog, and of course, like, bro, like I'm not an LL fan, but he's always putting out some shit.
He's a sick nigga though. Like that's it. Like that's, I don't like, it's not really his music. It's everything else around. Like, no, bro. Like, I love you, OG, but like, nah, you
it's, as they say, it's his aura.
Yeah. It's like, some sick shit, but
it's like almost, I feel like it's crazy. Like almost every era, essentially, that he's like been a part of, like that he's come out and stepped out and be like, I'm about to put some shit out.
Yeah.
He's had a few.
Yeah.
Like not. This is like, I'm not even talking about his albums, but he still has hits that niggas spin at the day parties and shit in the summertime.
Yeah.
The Who Do You Love, whatever. I don't know the name of that record, but at the name of that record, I forget what it is right now, but like that should be going up. And then for him to have like, bro, he has a new record with like Saweetie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, and it's all over Q-Tip production, and I'm like, bro, like,
in the Saturday night special, or is it Saturday night special, right?
With
with Ross and Fat Joe.
That shit's crazy.
That beat might be one of the best beats of this year.
Yeah, like, easily by far.
Yeah, by far. So yeah, wow, man.
I didn't even know LL could like slide on that palette.
Yeah.
Which I will say also, shout out to him, because I think I saw I don't know if this was in an interview I saw, but or an article I was reading, but he actually said in approaching this new project with Q-Tip, that he had to like, he took time to like I guess, learn how to rap again.
Mm-hmm.
So like he took time to figure out, okay, how do I reapproach this now?
Yeah.
And that's just such a very like, that's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like he embraced like, okay, I've been out of it for a bit. I've been on my chill mode, you know what I'm saying, dad mode, whatever, at home, whatever. And now I'm going to like, now that I'm about to like put out some more art again, some more music again, let me like refine the tool. Let me like go back in the lab and go back in the gym and see like what, like when it's time for me to step back out on the court, like what's gonna be my go-to move, or like
That means you have respect for the game.
yeah,
too.
man.
Like,
So can't cheat the game.
yeah.
So I do appreciate that. I'm excited.
Definitely. What would y'all say is the definition of success?
I think like, you know, as long as it aligns with like your own sense of like what freedom is. Like a big part of success, a lot of people think about it in the sense of just having the most, and that's not like a real thing, because like or else how I see it, or how a lot of people see it, like we're all under like something that's a lot bigger than us, regardless. So like having the most is like, it's just like I don't know, I feel like it's like an endless, and like I feel like it's like a childish like feat. I think it's like a lot about you know having your principles, getting to the things that you want and your needs, because like I believe in also like as much as people prioritize needs, I think wants are honest as well. So it's okay to go after those as well. And I think if you did that while maintaining your principles, and you push yourself, you found time to love, you found time to be loved in this lifetime, you really leave the world with something like bigger than yourself, with more like maybe try to leave it in a better place than you found it. I think a lot of those things like go towards success more than anything else. And like you made the time out for yourself to really achieve what you wanted to achieve, like your goals that you set in place, like did you put time into it? Did you care enough about achieving those things, whatever that looks like, whether that be like I guess like a lot of people put it into like awards and things like that, but sometimes it's just about getting out like a certain message that you wanted a certain way. Yeah,
It's definitely less. It's definitely, I think the beauty in it is that it's definitely become less materialistic. Like the older you get, you realize it, or like you go through situations, or you just kind of just get older, and it's more so about like those small like wins within your day. What I'm starting to realize is that like those small wins become like, or like those things that you might be grateful for, right, at the end of the day, when they add up, they become they become what a successful life is. You might get like a call to work on something, or you might link with a friend this day to just work on something that you two wanted to work on, right? And then that ends up being something that you're grateful for that specific day. And then you do that a couple different times, like you do that like consistently, and then you end up coming out with a song or a project, and then you're like, damn, well then like anything that comes from it, like after it, people might be like, oh, like this is a very successful project or whatever, but it really started with like the day of just me going to like chop it with my friend about life. And the fact that like I feel like so in that from that sense, I feel like if I'm able to consistently do that in this lifetime, I feel like success is just going to be I feel like that is successful, like to do
compound.
Do that, and to also be able to do that and still have the ability to spend time with family, spend time with other friends, to have extra time to like, I don't know, read your favorite book at the moment, or like your favorite show. Like I feel like to be able to be in a place where you're able to do all those things like freely and do all those things at a consistent rate, I think you end up having a successful life. You end up building. I think legacy is a part of success too, but I feel like these are smaller things that if you aren't doing these things like for yourself, then how could you even think about or even fathom being able to like leave something behind for
True.
Your family in the future or even the generations that are going to come after you. So I really think it's just about like the smaller things that you end up being grateful for that leads to that.
Yeah. What would y'all say is some of y'all strengths and weaknesses? Especially coming together to work together. You have your different tastes at times and different, mindsets at times. So what's that like?
I can definitely speak on it from a from my perspective, because it's pretty interesting for me because this was the first project that I had recorded myself from like start to finish, and like I've been producing for a long time, but I've always kind of like steered away from wanting to like engineer a lot of stuff. But I think in this case, I think the environment and what we was working on, I feel like it just lent itself to be like, okay, let's just try this idea. Or let's just record it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I had time, Hans had time, and I think for me I feel like it definitely weakened that muscle. I mean, I feel like it definitely strengthened that muscle for sure. Muscle that was initially weak, where I wasn't as quick to record things, or I wasn't as quick to even put like rough mixes on a lot of different stuff. But I felt like us coming together to do the Black Moss project, I found a lot of that, like, I found me becoming stronger in that sense of like, okay, now I know I feel like I'm able to tap back into that same creative space, or just use it as a reference for other projects, or I could use it as a reference for something that I'm working on with the youth that I teach when we're working on songs, and it's like, oh, I did this one idea, but we might have used this effect, or or I mixed it this way, or we panned it this way, or something like that. Maybe this will also work in this other setting where we're trying to we're trying to reach a certain destination sonically, where I feel like I can reference that and go, okay, I did this here, let me try this first before we try something else. So
I think one of the, like, in this process specifically, I wanted to get better at like, I always believe in like my level of like lyricism and my writing, as far as just like being able to write, like I try to, or make an effort to like write more in terms of like mantras, beyond just like bars itself. But I think this project specifically, with Reggie, like, at the head of the boards and behind the Logic/Ableton, like, I think he like, again, it's about like the canvas that the producers present, right? I think he gave me a canvas where like it pushed me to find out how the lyricism and the ability to put certain words together, how they can be performed in a groove, in a or in a melody, and make it more musical. I think that was like one thing that, working with him, I was able to find out, like, trying to now after working on this project, I was like, I want to get better at like bridges. Like, I know what bridges are, but I was never really thinking about that shit like at all. Like, it was just like, but now, and a lot of that is like obviously the records themselves, but the conversations like that we're having about music with Reggie. Like, Reggie, bro, he's like so informed on like music history, sound, that like you'll say something, he'd be like, yo, bro, this is what this reminds me of, and then you go on a tangent for like an hour like listening to some other shit. We're not even getting the shit done. Like, but we just like, you know, we're just basking in the shit. And I think that's like the beautiful part about the process. But I think that was like one weakness that I had that I felt like got a lot stronger. And now that like I'm writing now, like I'm writing for, you know, the mantra, the lyricism, but like the performance of it as well, like down to the word, like how like what is this word, like how am I supposed to say this word in this one bar that's gonna carry the energy, that's gonna carry the like the character or the face of what I'm trying to say, right? Like
Right.
A lot of the how that's added to like the what, right? And the why. Yeah, and I think the strength that I have is like one thing as far as like being like a human being that I really try to carry out in my life is like my sense of empathy and understanding. And I think that trickles down into my openness when I'm around other artists, and just being open to, you know, like all right, I'm gonna put my ego aside to like let you lead in this aspect, to just like follow you. And I think like Reggie, like, you know, obviously him being talented helped this become a lot easier, but just like okay, like, you know, what are the sounds that like you've been fucking with, or like what do you see like this being the sound of this world? And then also on his end, like just letting me like just give like my 2 cents where it opens it up even more. I think that's like one of my biggest strengths, and I think that's what allows me to like receive certain music, but also like receive certain artists where it's like, okay, like let's try to figure something out. Like let's like really just carve things out. Like even if this first session is just conversation, I think that's what kind of leads to the most beautiful things, because again, it's about finding out like, yo, how are we the same person?
Yeah.
And how is the difference in what we are played into that? And then you end up figuring out, oh, this is the sound. Yeah. This is alternative this, right? Like, or this is this. Like, oh, that's what this is. That's what this sounds like. That's what it's gonna be. Like, these are the drums for that feeling. This is the synth for that feeling. Like, this is the post-production instrumentation for this. Like, this is the world we building. So yeah, I think like that. Yeah, and I also like ever since that project, like been leaning a lot into production and learning from Reggie, our other homie Drew, goes by like Pressing Buttons. Like, you know, being around them and just, you know, I feel like for me, like personally, like in production, like I always see them as like senseis and this shit. Like, I'm just like, yo, like I hear them do one thing, I'm like, bro, like how the fuck did you do that? Like, what is your philosophy on like kicks? What is your philosophy on 808s? Like that's like what I'm really picking up on. Like a lot of it is philosophy, because it's like the thing exists, like, right? Like it exists for us to like manipulate and stuff like that. So, well, that was another thing I feel like I picked up on, was trying to become a better producer, and that opens up sound so much more. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, I mean, y'all just dropping the ball. Like every word is so deep. Every answer is so detailed, and it's a story, and it's running through my head, and I love it. It's like a movie, and I hope everybody fucking watching it. Feels like shit. While we at it, like, subscribe, you know the drill, like all that good. Person, I don't ever like saying that, but I gotta represent my shit. Feel me? We gotta represent our shit. Representing our shit, man, means standing on what we love, which is music. But music industries, which we're also in, can be treacherous. So what would y'all say are the pros and cons of the music industry today?
It's so, that's late. That's
such a
yeah. It's, everything has an industry. I feel like I think that's something you always got to embrace. I think again it goes back to like when we talked about success. How I was mentioned earlier, like success really, like a big metric of success is how close you got, how close you threw the dart to your principles, and how close you stayed to that in the midst of everything. Because industries grow, like at a certain point there
changed.
was they changed.
Yeah.
It looked like
Changing rapidly in this day and time.
yeah, like there was no like rap industry before the shit exist, like, you know, was conceived, and like it became a thing and it grew into this like the main genre of the world right now. Like it's in terms of just like I know we have like pop and everything like that, but I think like to me, like I think like everything just surrounds like hip hop because it is black. Like it is the main black like just sound right now that's carrying like our people in whichever way direction, right? And I think in terms of the industry, like again back to the principles, is like yo, like how well have you maintained your principles? Because there's just like a lot of like nut ass shit from like the business of things to just like the dark depths of all this shit. But it's knowing what you want, like, you know, like going back to like your needs and your wants. Like your needs are real and your wants are honest, and as long as you're like using your principles to gauge like how you get both your needs and wants, like you'll be good. And you gotta be like
not compromising.
Yeah,
what you believe
exactly.
In order to go out and just like sell your soul for the shit.
Yeah.
Or do the most that takes you out of like your character.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would say like I guess one that popped up in my brain as a pro and a con is that in today's music industry, like anyone can literally become like what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So like let's say if you want to, like anyone that wants to be an artist, you know, you could literally, there's so many apps from laptops to iPad app, or like you can just put the shit on your phone and you can start making music, and you can literally upload that shit to a streaming platform without it going through any certain level of you know, clearance or like mix review, or you don't have to do that. And while that is a pro, like especially for like I would say specifically it's a pro for anybody, but specifically for like the younger generation, because like they can literally, you know, fuck around with this app, get their creative ideas going, and essentially that could become a certain level of their or certain sense of like artist development in a way where like if you have a 7-year-old that's making raps on his phone, by the time he gets to be like 15, he's probably, or he should be, but he's probably rapping circles around anyone else around that age that just started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then once he gets to, let's say if he continues to keep going, once he get to be like 20 or 21 or some shit, like he should be pretty fire as an artist, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a definite pro, but also I feel like the con with that is that because of the entry point for music in the industry is pretty low. Like sometimes it comes without and there's also cons with, you know, how people do things in the business, but there's also a con with how like knowledgeable a person might be when they first step into the arena, where it's like, oh man, it's like sharks out here, or if it's not, or if you don't see any sharks and the water's just deep as fuck and you don't really, and you can only swim in like 4 or 5 feet, but you step out there and not knowing that, oh damn, this is fucking deep end, and I'm not equipped to deal with that, or I'm not even equipped. I don't have the skill set yet to be able to do that. One day I am going to be able to have it, or I can work to have it, but I might not have it right now. And so it comes with like, I feel like it's you come in like less knowledgeable when the entry point is low.
Oh yeah.
And then also, you know, that also might potentially lead to like watered down art, or art that you feel like, the music that you feel like is not to a certain high level of a standard, where, you know, you think about a label like Motown, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the arguably like the best like recording label era ever, right? It was such a fine-tuned like system in what they gave the artists from like a resource standpoint. Someone would go out and discover you, then they might sign you, right? But once they sign you to, like, let's say they signed you to a contract, and you being on Motown, bro, like, you had Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye and like Stevie Wonder at a certain point, like writing songs for you and producing.
Yeah.
Like, you got some of the best
Ever.
musicians. You got some of the best musicians and singers and songwriters ever under this one roof of a label, which also has the best stylist and the best PR person and the best creative director. And you know what I'm saying? Like so you have those elements in place those elements were in place at one point in time where artists didn't have to do so much like on their own. Like it could be talented. You could probably be like you have one of the most amazing voices. You could just see him in the jazz club or some shit. And then if you was on the label, you could be like, yo, this kid is going to be, I feel like he could be the next, or he could be the first.
Yeah.
And we could bring him in. He might be like 12 right now. And you give him songwriters and stuff, and you actually, by that time, I mean, I feel like during those days too, like, they had artist development, but they were also providing artists with so many different things.
Yeah.
Like providing them with these hit songs and things like that coming out. Like even as talented as Stevie was, like Stevie Wonder had records on Motown that people had given him, you know what I'm saying? And that they wrote that for him. And then it got to a certain point where like he was like, yo, like I could just do this shit on my own.
Yeah.
And then he went on to produce and make all the amazing shit that he made on his own label. But would that have happened if he wasn't signed to Motown at first? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It might have happened a different way, but in terms of whatever he was able to be equipped with from a knowledge standpoint and from an experience standpoint, I don't know if he would have gotten that or received that if he hadn't gotten that route, or if Motown didn't exist. So like, I think that's like a interesting like pro and con, because you can look at it from both sides. Where
Yeah.
There's a lot less. I feel like there's a lot less like mentorship around getting into the industry.
Yeah.
Because you can just literally do it, and you could be like, yo, I don't need you.
Like, I have the internet.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too. Like, I think it's like, I don't know if like cyclical is the word, but like, there's like the pros and cons are more so like how like certain actions have consequences, right? So like, if you look at like these long-standing labels with tenure and legacy, and how like it was like, you know, people were literally selling their CDs on the sidewalk or like waiting outside of like record labels. Like, you know, how long does a nigga that believes in himself have to hear no? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so at a certain point, something is gonna come out of that. Like, whether it wasn't made with the intention to support that person that was waiting out front of the label, but there's someone like that in every industry or in every facet of the world, whether that be political, like socioeconomically, like there's just like all these different things that's coming together, and it's like, damn, we just woke up one day and it's like this the internet. And that shit just broke so much shit open, because it's like you had so many people dealing with like no, or people being like, or things just trying to be hidden, and the internet is like, oh yeah, like I'm about to use this shit to say like, you know, fuck all that, like I believe in myself, or like people need to know about this. And things just like broke open from there, where you had like platforms that, you know, they ended up being the things that, you know, took the torch on like those legacies, or they end up being bought up by like those like, you know, entities as well. So like it's all like it's all like there's gonna be a consequence, there's gonna be a award, you know, for everything, because now it's like because of that, like the internet was this whole like revolutionary thing, and now people are just kind of like thinking like, man, what is? I feel like right now, like a lot of like the dark cloud around it is really prevalent as far as like now anybody can just do this shit. And not saying that, like, I personally don't think like rap or anything, or like to want to do these things that you necessarily need to go to like school or anything like that, or like programs. I think those things like help with like helping the advancing the skills of those people. But I think because of like when you think of just the openness of how people discover these things, like I think that's how people should embrace trying to do it. But I do feel like it's gotten to a point where, because the internet puts so much light on it, and because people were getting bags off this shit, like everyone was like, oh, like I want to be a rapper, or like I want to make this music thing, and they don't actually like really care about it. Because if you think about it now, like what's everybody gonna try to do now is the streaming.
Right.
It's the streaming shit that's getting the bags now, so everyone's doing that. Like, so you realize there's a lot of like people that were trying to like rap or make music, and they're transitioning into that, and it's like, okay, there's people that are just like, they don't want like that thing, they want the thing that it comes with, right? And then you have people that are like, I'm not gonna use the word purist, right? Because then that might be a little elitist, but you kind of do need a little bit of that, because there's sometimes that's just that. Sometimes we just say that to people that, we just say that to the people that care.
Yeah.
A lot about this. Yeah, they care a lot, and we just want to call them like elitists and stuff like that. It's like, nah, man, like some of these people like really care a lot. Some of these people like is their livelihood or something that they put their day to day into, and that like it's like eventually like they would like to make money off of it. Like, I'm not saying niggas don't want to make money off this shit or whatever, but it's like a lot of it is like, man, that's not going to dictate like what I make though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make this thing that I feel like is really aligned with who I am, and it's all tied together. Like, there's not one aspect of this life that's like super separate. Because once you start thinking about that, you just start looking at the surface level of things and like awards and streams and all that shit, but you don't know how that's affecting like,
Right.
you know, like you don't know how that's like affecting like certain wars or like genocides going on in other places. Like that may be like a oh, like it's not that deep thing, but like a lot of this shit is connected. Like a lot of shit has historically been connected, and you know, it just goes back into the thing about like caring is gonna make you delve deeper into this shit and understand like, oh, okay, like you go into like, all right, the banks, like the families, everything just falls underneath that, like, so. Yeah.
Going back to the thing you said about the internet, man, and I mean that really just to sum it up, like this, what they're calling it, content creation era of music, like to where, like you said, there's so many artists doing the same thing, there's so many people that want to do the same thing, but and I agree, like, do they really want to do music, or they want what comes with music? Like, and also it makes it harder on the artists that really love music, that want to put out music for people to hear, because now, you know, it's come down to a point where there's certain artists out there that gotta put content out just for people to go listen to their shit, versus you can just put a song out and anybody's gonna listen to it. Now you gotta have something with it, and you gotta have like 5 different little snippet videos, music video, just, and it's a lot of creativity is being drained, when really the goal of this shit, like I was just saying to myself earlier, like in my head, like I'm not really like here to like make content. Like I might put out a music video or two to a couple songs at my project, but other than that, if you want to see content, go check out my live streams. You want to go see content, go check out the movie I just made. You want to go see content, go check out the new video. But other than that, you're not finna get content from my music page. Like, music was put out for people to listen. It's ear candy, versus you have eye candy, which is the movies or videos or TV shows. Not music. Don't, you know, let's try to keep those things separate.
It got everybody doing, my fault to cut you off. I was saying,
you straight?
It got everybody doing the same shit, I think, too. Like, like go like, you know what, like, to me, I think it's just more about like making extensions of the world you live in, right? Like, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh, okay, everybody's making this content, everyone's making, but like, content, it's just like, we like hate the word.
It's just marketing.
It's just marketing. It's just like the things you make. Like, you gotta make shit like an extension of what you do. Like we did, like, our marketing for like this project was like doing a performance art piece, which was like a bonsai box that we did where we went to different cities and places and we played the album out loud on speakers while we were like in this bonsai box that our homie Aziz Ramos made. So he built it out for us, and then we just took that to different places to stay along with like the Moss theme of shit. But like, it's about finding like the shit you want to do. Like, to me, like, everybody got like that vertical video with like the yellow text, and like, it's just like, bro, like, we don't all need to be doing that. Like, what does this tell me about you? Like, you can make content.
Anybody can do that.
Anybody could do that. Like, but you gotta make some shit that's gonna bring people into like your world.
Exactly.
And I understand sometimes world building gets expensive, but what's not, what helps like combat that is like how deep you can think about your shit.
Yeah.
Like, your shit, like, what is the shit that you want to make? What is the world that you want to make? But like, everybody just doing this, like, there's this cultural overlay that's happening, and it's like, bro, like, this is turning into the mall. They just got different sizes of the same shirt on one rack, and they just want you niggas to buy the shit. And that's what's going on. And it's like, bro, like, and I'm not even talking about the type of music that you're making. You're gonna make whatever you want. You're gonna make what your mind is allowing you to make. I honestly don't give a fuck about that. It's just disturbing that like people feel the need to make the same thing and to make the same thing around that as well. And it's like, bro, what are you thinking about? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what is your music telling you? Like, it doesn't need like the same overlay of the shit, because now what we're doing is we're fucking up the inspiration, right? Like, in a bigger sense, like, everything we're doing now in life is like, we're all working towards being ancestors, right? Like, so I think about that a lot with like what we do here, and like, our music is like, what are we leaving behind? And it's like, if we're all leaving behind this mall, like, this shit is just gonna be like Zara, or this shit is just gonna be like fucking like American Eagle, and it's just like, it's just a bunch of fucking V-necks in different sizes, and no one was like, yo, bro, like niggas not even the cart in the middle of like the mall anymore. Like, it's just like everyone's just trying to be like in a store. Like, bro, like, there's gotta be a different element to what you're doing. So, but yeah.
And I don't even think it necessarily relates. I mean, even me, I'm trying to create my world. Yes, I'm doing music, but also I have other pieces that I'm trying to keep everything connected. Like Yard Talk, I do this is where you get to, you know, see me connect with other people, other artists, and grow with that. And also, definitely everyone I meet, y'all inspiring. And that inspiration is played back into my music, and y'all get to see that. Even creating a production company, where also I'm working on movies. My movies is another art form that I get to write my life and my experiences. Where I also can fuck around and market myself and put my music in our own shit. Feel me? Yeah. I mean, you just gotta keep everything connected. Find a way to show who you are through what you do. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. But we getting close to the end. Well, we got a couple more questions. Yeah. But after that, we have a few little loosen things up in the room, where finish the lyrics, gun to your head kind of situation. Like, you gotta have an answer soon. First thing comes to mind.
I'm gonna be bad at that.
Yeah,
and
CTE be after that.
And let's see what else. Also, basically it's a versus series. Basically, it's an artist versus artist. You got project versus project, or you even got groups versus groups.
Okay.
So we'll definitely get to that. But let's go ahead and kill these last few questions. Starting off with, what would y'all say? Like, if y'all didn't do music, where would y'all be? Like, or is that like not an option?
Where would I be? Is such a
shit.
What would y'all be doing? What do you think you'd be doing? Like, what other venues?
Oh man, we just worked mad hard to get here.
Right.
It took years.
Yeah, it took years to not think about that. Actually, like we had to get rid of that plan B.
It took years to like not quit.
Yeah.
I agree. Shit. What would the other universe you be doing right now?
That's a great. Honestly, I mean, but I'm gonna think more about this. But my first answer is I probably just wouldn't be like an artist in it. But I feel like in another, I mean, maybe I'm not even gonna say another lifetime, but I could also just see myself being a music journalist. Like I'm a very I'm a big nerd when it comes to this shit.
I mean, I see that. Yeah. I love it.
But like even on my downtime, like if I'm like I love finding like music articles about artists that I'm either listening to or like they're about to drop something, or at one point in time I was collecting what is the name of that shit? It was a producer magazine with like all of the magazine was catered towards all of the primary producers prevalent in hip hop and R&B at the time. Scratch Mag. I used to collect Scratch Mag, and then I also used to in another I just felt like a genre scape or genre sense, like I was collecting Spin Mag too. I used to collect a lot of Spin Mag and see like, okay, what's going on with like like Vampire Weekend, or at the time I'm trying to think of who had the cover at this time. What's the artist that sings the Dark Days Are Over?
Oh, the Dog Days Over.
Dog Days Over.
Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine. So I remember collecting like Spin magazines where like I think even she was on one of the covers, and I used to always go like, okay, like what type of music are these artists making?
Yeah.
Like what do they have to say, but also like what are they into? And so I could definitely see like, and then even just like what I love about like in the landscape like right now, I feel like, to be honest, like I feel like you could probably have even more like music journalists like that are more like sincere about the art and the craft. Just because I feel like it's so hard sometimes finding like a reputable one, but there are definitely like a handful that are like very knowledgeable, and that do their due diligence and research, and especially with it being so many artists out, and there not being essentially like there are no music blogs.
Yeah.
Everything is all like social media content, or it's like a channel or a page, or you might have a thread like on Twitter. So like I feel like it's important for there to be voices in that space to actually shed light to like a lot of independent artists that are putting out their stuff. So I could definitely see that being one. I don't know.
I feel like
maybe like painting to a degree. Painting or some type of like visual art medium.
Ooh,
yeah. I don't know.
And you're saying not music, right? Or are you thinking just art overall, like
anything, man?
I think in another universe, honestly, like probably working something within like sports, to be honest. As far as like front office, things like that, like putting a team together. Probably like something in that, because that's visually what I want to go to school for. Or like honestly having like some type of like foundation, philanthropy, where I'm helping serve like other people like in the world beyond myself. I think I'll lean more into that, which I feel like is such an interesting question because I think at some point like we use the shit we're doing now to do all that shit regardless in some shape or form. So like I think that's like
it's a goal.
Yeah, like that's really like
to be honest,
yeah, that's really how like that shit is connected to what we're doing now. Everything is like pretty much a platform because like even like I was gonna say creative direction, but like music kind of brought me to that to do that more and just think of like other ways to like world build in that sense, and also like the gratitude I have with the ability to like even do this thing. Like I try to use like some of that time to give back like yearly, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably be trying to get like build a team to get the Knicks a championship or some shit. Like,
I feel you.
Something.
Need that.
That was always when I did either like I was like a big like sports.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm still a big sports head, but like even I used to play like football and basketball, and so like for me when I would buy video games, it was always like Madden, 2K, NCAA football, shit like that, and that was like my favorite part of like the game.
Yeah.
That either creating a player or like franchise mode, owner mode.
Yeah.
Buying a new franchise and like building a stadium and all that shit. Like
creating a demigod in the game. Like, why is your linebacker 7'3"? The fuck is going on here? Like,
was this Hercules?
Yeah. Like, what's
Thor?
going on?
Oh shit!
What's going on? Like,
I would always like create like a point guard that was like at least 6'7".
You just like start cheating.
Right.
I'm like, yo, this is why God didn't give me this power in real life. Like, cause I just be doing dumb shit. Like, yeah.
Goddamn me games that you create your own characters.
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm over here playing Skyrim with all the mods. Like, yeah, I got like 15 followers and all the magic powers. Like, fuck with me. I'm a god.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. Second to last question would be, what's it like to do shows? Like, do y'all like? What is your process to prepare for a show?
Man. It's I feel like it's not mentally taxing, but it's like I feel like it's very like I feel like I go into it like a very like analytical, like over analytical place when it comes to shows.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, all right, like while I want people to experience like the record as it is, like on like as they experienced it, like when they were first listening to it, and how it sounds on wax. At the same time, like it's a live show, and like niggas pay for a live show, so like you also want to make sure that you're giving them an experience that they can go back and be like, bro, like y'all missed this show, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Or if niggas pulled up late and you just want to make them like know that like there's more value. You know, there's more value when it comes to like what we have to offer as artists, and like the live performance is a part of it. So like in terms of the process, like I know like individually at first I'm probably going through some ideas, picking through like where, you know, we could like, you know, swap some chords out or add some stuff or do some drops, tweak arrangements. And then I'm kind of coming to Hans with that. We probably talk about it before actually practicing and rehearsing. And then a couple times we might run through it and we kind of like, you know, making notes and making changes.
Doing like iterations of like the record itself. Like to what Reggie said, like, you know, him adding like certain chords. Us doing like renditions of stuff, like of our records and stuff like that. I think a lot of it is thinking about like, not thinking about it, but understanding that it's an extension of your music.
Yes.
So like, it's not about it being like, there's a lot of like aux chord performances where it's like man, I could have just done this at home, like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm not getting anything from this, I'm not learning anything about you, right? Like one of my favorite artists, William Pope L, he had this quote talking about like his artistry and how like specifically within that quote he mentions how like artists do this thing where like we try to be too cool, so it's like, oh, like look at me, I'm doing this art thing, but I'm not really doing it, but like I am, and they're trying to be too cool in doing it instead of it letting it be like, yo, like in this part of the song I screamed, I'm gonna do that on stage, like I sang, like this is the emotion I felt when I made this, when I hear it back, when I listen to it. So like you gotta be able to like evoke that like within like your performance. And you know, obviously what I'm about to mention after this like plays into like obviously budgets and stuff and having resources to do this, but like set design, your styling, all these things play a hand in like what you present, how you present your music to people. So we think about that a lot right now. Like, you know, we don't have like the most extravagant budget, like so we could put like a set design together and things like that. But like sometimes that might come into like, you know, being a little bit more minimal and everything else to like present that world. But like, you know, we have our styling in place. We have like how we want to perform. I think for me individually, as far as being like the vocal performer, is like you gotta like obviously recite the shit. You gotta remember your lyrics and things like that. But I think a lot of it is like not just going up there and just saying those things. It's like about like how do I want to move my body while I'm saying this lyric, or like sometimes it's not. Maybe I'm like, how do I give a presence without even moving my body at all? Like maybe that's the brilliance in it as well. It's like standing still and people just being like, oh, this is like a still moment where I need to like take this in the same manner. So
yeah,
you gotta think about those things. Like, what song am I just staying center on the stage? What song am I moving around? What song am I like, you know, dancing to as well with the crowd? Like, how am I bringing the crowd into this as well too? So there's like a lot of things you gotta think about when it comes to performing. That like, you know, I just hope to, you know, still get better. Like, we're performance athletes too. That's one thing I'm thinking about now. Like, as I'm trying to get in like better shape, is like being a performance athlete. That takes a lot. Like, you can't be winded up there. That's why like niggas doing like all these drugs and shit, and like you going up there and like
right,
you out here breathing heavy after the second song. It's like it's not a good look.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Like,
yeah,
can't be. Yeah, man. But you know, I like Wendy's too.
Final question, moving on, would be if there's any local artists y'all want to shout out, or just any close people y'all know y'all want to just go ahead and start shouting out.
I would say like, I mean, I was gonna just, I mean, kick it to like the local artists or just like the homies in general. I feel like we just got a creative surplus of like just homies that I feel like before anyone else, I mean, of course ourselves, but also before anyone else like listens to the music, or like, you know, we're always running it by homies, and like that we really look to for their just like their taste level, you know, whether that's you know Drew pressing buttons, or whether that's Quimby, or whether that's Qua, or like Rug that working on her shit that's crazy,
and Lacerna.
Guan's got some crazy shit coming out.
Shout out to the homies in Abdul English, another Jersey like production, creative collective.
Shout out to Chris Allen back home in DC. Like, I feel like there's like I don't know, like just I feel like there's a force with amongst all of us within this community.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're all in a certain way I feel like we're actively like pushing pushing like, you know, the boundaries of whatever we're doing within our own like respective like art space.
Yeah, and it's like super like, it's not even, it's beyond music. It's a lot of like, it's like a spectrum, right? One of the craziest quotes was Ivan Jasper. He said that like, in talking about like the collective that Ye was around, when you think about like Virgil, Don C, Farnsworth Bentley, Taz Arnold, Ivan himself, like a lot, like what he talks about is how they created the lifetime childhood and how they abided by that, and how like that informed a lot of like, you know, the movements that they still have now at like 40, 50. I'm not sorry if y'all niggas is not that old, but I'm just saying. Y'all niggas older than me, so yeah, like, but like how, like, I thought that was so like profound, because it helps you maintain the inner child, and you just take that as a spirit that you put in anything that you make. So like a lot of our friends like that we go to, obviously like some of them make music, but a lot of them have ventured into other things like design, like film, like Aaron Lacerna, like he's a filmmaker. Just shot his first short film in the Philippines that he's working on editing right now. We have like the homies at Sold Out. They're designers. Like Zaire, Drew is also a part of that as well. Like that faction. Yeah, we were talking about Norm, Yatu, them bringing a lot of like their spirit into the tech space. Our homie Aziz, who's a carpenter, he's the one that built that bonsai box out for us, but he's built out like different furniture pieces. So not only is he like in the tech space as well,
he was also web designer.
Yeah, like like web designing, but like just building like just furniture pieces out. So I think a lot of it was like, even with Qua, like I feel like people know him for like styling, but like him doing like graphic design and 3D design as well, like and him moving into more like the architecture space. Like it's we have a lot of different like we have a lot of variety in the minds that we put together that have helped make the things that we make now. And to me it's so crazy, because as much as we put into the works we have now, they feel so like not small, but they feel like the introductory stages into like the bigger ideas that I know, like I talk to each of these guys like day to day about and what they want to build. So yeah, those, you know, everybody we shouted out. If we forgot anybody, free food on Reggie.
Also, links in the description to everybody, and these two. Come on now, check them out. Check them out. Yeah. Alright, man, we made it this far. Now it's time for the fun part.
Yeah.
Man, before we do it all, y'all have any questions for me?
Shit, man. I guess like how's been this process of you, like, what are you getting most out of like interviewing, like, and having these conversations with different artists?
Being influenced, man. Different influences from other, you know, experiences and other ways everyone I've met performs and does their music, like, and that shit's inspiring to see. You know, I was asked about one of my closest homies, what is the most meaningful thing in life for me right now? I said connections, because connections will take you a long way, you know, with who you know, like just knowing certain people, getting to understand different backgrounds and understand that we might seem different, but yet really break that shit down, we not too different. We all kind of have some like similarities. So yeah, that'd be probably the main thing for that. Moving on though, we have finished the lyric. I don't don't know if y'all keep up.
I'm terrible at these shit.
All right, I'll at least tell you the name of the artist so that way y'all can go through the category.
I'm like the absolute worst at this.
Bro.
All right, this is a Kanye song.
Ah, damn. I thought this was a match. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. It's something that you need to have because when she leave your ass, she going to leave with half. 18 years. 18 years.
Yeah, one of your kids tells me for 18 years. Your baby mama child support something bigger than this.
Something like that.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, like,
All I know is I ain't saying she a gold digger.
All right, if y'all felt this,
Yeah.
like this one's probably the most simple lyric.
Oh
literally.
my God, bro.
Tupac. It's Tupac. I'm a straight rider. I won't deny it.
You don't want to
Fuck with me.
Yeah. Okay. New edition song.
Yeah,
If it isn't love, why do I feel this way?
Why does she stay on my mind?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Reggie, man, you're way better. we couldn't switch seats.
All right, this is a Chris Brown song, but it's a Lil Wayne verse. Man, fuck these bitch ass niggas. How y'all doing? I'm Lil Two Shit. I'm a nuisance.
I'm not gonna get that one.
Yeah.
I go stupid like the Three Stooges.
Oh my God. Yo. I do not know this shit.
Might have to cut this segment.
Yeah. This is bad.
Come on.
This is bad.
I still got a lot more songs. It's something y'all gonna know.
That might not be a good thing, like.
Alright, this is a Kendrick song. If Pyrus and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song.
Sing like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the streets, y'all hear
Yeah. Alright, this is the Biggie song. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap Mr. Molly Mall.
Alright, this is Soul to Soul.
Wait, this is what?
Soul to Soul.
Oh, man.
However do you want me? However do you need me?
Isn't it just the
same shit?
Yeah, however do you want me? Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
That was like a trick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just keep
Like,
on
is it?
toes.
That was an all the above.
Yeah.
You're not doing that with me. It's all good.
Alright, this is a Jay-Z song. All I need in this life of sin is me and my girlfriend.
Me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Down the ride to the very end. It's me and my girlfriend. Oh, the Beyonce part.
Yeah. All right, Bobby V. I saw you walking down to Melrose. You look like an angel, straight out of heaven, girl.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I feel like I should definitely know this one, but
Yeah.
I
Fuck wrong with you?
I feel like the part of this song is that I feel like I know the most is probably this is the slow down joint, right?
Yeah. Slow it down.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, this
With
is
the
Louis.
verse, that was the
Yeah.
It's Louis Armstrong. I see trees of green, red roses too.
Shades of blue. And I think to myself,
what a wonderful world.
Yeah.
I love this song. Steve Lacy.
Oh man.
What you do? Ooh, what you do? Made a move. Coulda made a move.
What you do? What you do?
If I knew.
Scared.
Ooh.
Is it scared? Something scared to pursue, right? Hold on.
Yeah. You got it right. Yeah. All right, Outkast.
Come on, no, we're coming back.
All right,
All right, let's do
Outkast.
this.
Sir Lucius got a gator and Patty Belt on the Monte Carlo and the Eldorados.
Wait. Start it again. Say it again.
Sir Lucius got gator and Patty Belts and a Monte Carlo and Eldorados.
And Eldorados. Cool as Freddie Jackson sipping a. No, that's not what comes after that. And Eldorados.
I think it's another.
Rubbing the. No.
Damn.
Yeah, fuck it.
Damn.
Fuck. It's so crazy without the record.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't know, like, yeah.
All right, now we got versus series. So we got Temptations against Ozzy Brothers.
Ozzy Brothers.
Okay.
Sorry.
NWA or Wu-Tang?
I think Wu-Tang. I don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Wu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Wu. To be honest, I will say I haven't dived like as deep as I would like to in both of their catalogs, but I feel like from what I know and from what I've heard of their catalogs, like I could definitely probably vibe with Wu over them.
Yeah.
Okay. Good Kid, Mad City, or All Eyes on Me?
Good
Look at Mad City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Niggas was, I wasn't even like listening to.
Yeah, that's like you
Brett-
gotta go back. Yeah.
Brett Fayez or Sir?
Who? Damn, bro. I don't know. Sir just like.
You know.
Oh, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Damn.
But you gotta do what you gotta do, though. Like,
Damn, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
man, one of
That's
them
a hard
niggas
one.
made John Redcorn, and
That would be
I feel
Sir.
like-
That would be Sir.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, bro, like
It's
the nigga made the recipe, bro. The nigga made the recipe, like
Yeah.
Damn.
All
I
right,
feel
we
like
got-
it's a lot of. My answer to that is, definitely to what Hans to what you said, Hans, but also the crazy thing about Brent right now is that like it's just mad like R&B variants of that nigga.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Which is that's just crazy about like the landscape right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, shout out to both of them, bro.
yeah, both amazing artists. Yeah. So.
Okay. We got The Chronic against The Diary by Scarface.
Chronic.
I'm gonna go Chronic.
Yeah.
Chronic. Okay.
Yeah.
Chronic
got-
sonically, that shit
Yeah.
just changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got Capital Punishment by Big Pun versus Doggy Style.
Probably
Let me go Doggy Style.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly
about to be something.
or My Beautiful Dark Twisted
shit.
Fantasy.
I mean, I know for me,
man.
I'm gonna go to Pimp.
Okay.
Man.
That's probably tougher. That's tough for him. But I'm gonna go to Pimp. I'm gonna
Okay.
go to Pimp.
Okay.
Damn. As of recent, like very, like in terms of like I literally was bumping to Pimp like all last week for some reason. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I'll say, is probably the most inspiring work to like who I am as an artist. So
Heat. That's tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go My Beautiful. Yeah.
Now this one might be easy. I don't know. We'll see. College Dropout or Astro World.
Oh, college.
College Dropout. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's reason. I mean, there's people that felt like that was a difficult one because they understood like Travis Scott and what, like, but yeah.
Astro
College
World
Dropout.
that is a classic. I think that is a classic. I think in terms of his like
catalog?
his catalog, like
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like that shit felt like it lasted. First of all, in terms of this like very like recency based culture that we in, like
it was legs for a long time.
It was crazy. It was
As someone that didn't necessarily like, I didn't really rock with the album, but
yeah.
I understand like the acclaim that it gets and the respect that it gets.
All right, we got Illmatic against The Score by the Fugees.
Shout out to Jersey. Sorry.
All right. The Miseducation Miss by Miss Lauryn Hill or SOS by SZA.
Oh, the Lauryn Hill joint.
Yeah,
Come on. Yeah.
Shout out to Jersey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jersey.
Every chance.
Yeah.
Aquemini by Outkast or Demon Days by Gorillaz.
Ooh.
That's
Aquemini.
tough.
I'm gonna go Aquemini.
I'm gonna go Aquemini.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Demon Days is tough.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. TLC or Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nicki Minaj or Remy Ma.
I don't know. That was like bad.
Wait, what?
I was not expecting.
I don't know.
that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't even know. Like,
I mean, the liquor store's right there. Go see what answer we come up after we drink a little bit.
yeah, nah, damn.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Nicki.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Nicki purely off of like the influence.
Yeah. For sure.
Without Nicki being who she is, like women rap like in this day and age right now, or just the rap landscape in general is different without the influx of women that have come into the genre that have like been heavily influenced by her.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I think musically, when we think about women rap, I think women artistry, like, one thing about Nicki is, obviously, you know, she was running the rap shit, especially with the women, but, like, man, she got on Monster and outperformed everybody. Like, you know what I mean? So, I think it's, like, it was a place in rap overall that she held. I think her being this, like, sometimes I see her as like this theater kid trapped in like a rapper's body, because like it would be different characters that we get on, like even just like the monikers and stuff, and like that she would give us, or like just the different personalities that she would give us. I think musically, I think she had a lot more impact than Remy Ma. Yeah. Shout out Papoose.
Yeah, this one's pretty. I know this is really easy. Drew Hill versus Blackstreet.
Is that easy?
I don't know.
Well, it's not easy.
I think
I
would have enjoyed more Blackstreet records.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
I personally have.
I think it comes down to like which group
would you
more,
like?
wore more leather. Like probably like. I mean,
shit, I know y'all was sweating.
Like, who really died for that shit?
Right. All right, Death Certificate by Ice Cube or The Blueprint by Jay-Z.
Blueprint.
Okay. Blue Lips by Schoolboy or Big Fish by Vince.
Ooh. That's kind of tough.
Okay, Big Fish was very forward.
No, yeah.
I actually really like that project a lot.
I did too. That's arguably that's his best. That's his best work.
Yeah.
If we keep
I think that's his like. You know, Summer 06 might still be. I don't know.
That shit was. I mean,
Summer 06.
It's still up there.
I feel like in a weird way, it was all the albums after it together instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Damn. You know what though? I feel like I think with a lot of the things that you've been, a lot of the verses you've been bringing up. In my mind, I'm also going back to what am I living with?
Yeah.
And what like resonates with me the most. And bro, like Blue Lips.
I think that's.
Bro, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down as one of the best rap albums ever.
Yeah. I think that's rap album of the year
easily
so far, right
easily.
now.
Like, I'm still bumping that shit all year.
I'm thinking about, his performance on records is insane. Yeah. But just the composition of the project is, it's just different. It's different. It sounds way more like of a, like an upper echelon than everything else. Like sound, even just sound wise, the way shit is put together. Yeah, so
beautiful body of work, man.
Yeah. All right, we got producer wise, Kanye versus Dr. Dre.
Damn,
that's tough.
Producer,
but like again,
I got it. You know I got it. Yeah.
But again, like it's like I'm gonna go Ye.
Yeah.
I feel like I think about a lot of the things that I've grown up on and that I listen to, that I experienced from now to like even like back to when I was a kid. Like Kanye has, like, as a producer alone, he's covered mad ground. So many different artists, so many different genres, and like covered ground and had like eras with them too. So like,
and moved the needle in every aspect. Like
he brought he put life back into artists' like careers.
Yeah.
When niggas wasn't even really like, not like checking for them, but it was like, oh shit, like, damn, like this his music sounds like elevated with him.
And to that point, bro, like when we was talking about like dream collabs earlier, I think that's a big thing too, is like not every like I think there's collabs I think the most beautiful collabs are the ones where it's more about seeing like, oh, can an artist fit in this world, than it being like a vertical achievement, right? Like than it being like, oh, I just want this name, this name. And it's more about like, yo, like you know how perfect Push and Ye sound together?
Yeah, it's kind of
like,
crazy. And
I'm not saying that wasn't like, that Push wasn't on or Push wasn't known. I'm just saying
but
that,
the
like,
fact that happened
is like, it's just about the mesh of something. Like we just got a perfect union of like of a rapper and a producer, like by that happening. Like, so
I also think about these in terms of like the rate at which they're still doing it now. And like how far back do we have to go to say like, okay, they was killing putting out this or something like that. And like even with like, you know, like it's like Ye's production, even as of late, it's just like, bro, you don't gotta always go back too far to be like with some fire shit that Ye actually produced or had his hand on.
Exactly.
Okay. This one's a label, two great labels. TDE versus Dreamville.
TDE.
Okay.
I don't think that.
Okay, we got Escape versus SWV.
What else SWV?
Yeah.
That's not it.
Okay.
I agree.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
That's not even like fair.
The next one I don't even think it's fair either.
Like, damn, Mike and Prince.
Damn, I got two other ones that's not even fair. That's crazy.
Man,
that's crazy. That what if that Kendrick bar came from this question?
Yeah, right.
The nigga said Prince really
outlived Mike Jack.
That's crazy.
Oh shit.
Damn, bro.
I can't even do that.
I don't even think it's that's the next.
All right. We got Queen, the band, and Elton John.
Elton John.
Okay.
That's just for me. I don't know.
Damn. I'm gonna go Queen.
Okay.
Queen.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one of the tapes that my dad actually had off the radio, and I was like, nah, this nigga's here different.
I think it's just really like, I was going to say, like, it was like whatever my pops was playing. And shit like that is definitely like whatever the old heads were playing around, like Elton John was definitely on that.
Also, we don't have glam rock. Queen. Also, we don't have Beat It without Freddie Mercury from Queen.
That's true.
He's the one that was. I think MJ had played. I forgot how the story goes, but either they played him, like he played them a demo or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was like,
that's right.
You gotta put that one out, bro.
Yeah. All right, we got Nevermind by Nirvana and Master of Puppets by Metallica.
I'm probably gonna go Nevermind.
I'm gonna go Nevermind.
Yeah.
All right. Final one on the versus series: Johnny Cash versus Elvis.
Yeah, like definitely not choosing Elvis.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah.
I don't
Man in
know.
Black himself. All right. Gun to your head.
Yeah, the Elvis shit is wild. So
Yeah. Gun to your head. Name an East Atlanta artist.
East
Atlanta?
Atlanta specifically.
Yep.
I'm not even from there.
In East Atlanta. Was it? Isn't Six Flag?
Is Chainz from East Atlanta?
Who?
Is 2 Chainz from East Atlanta?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't really. I mean, I wouldn't know specifics. In terms of like,
there was a few artists I looked
geographical
up just to
location
make
of
sure.
Atlanta artists though.
East Atlanta.
One off the top of my head, Young Nutty.
Okay.
He always says that East Atlanta.
Yeah,
I'm not even familiar.
I don't even know.
I was gonna say Osiris, but I don't think. I think he's from like another part of Atlanta. I don't think it's East Atlanta.
I don't think it's
yeah.
East. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, this one should be easy. Gun to your head. Name the album that the song "Nothing But a G Thing" came from.
Nothing but a G thing, baby.
Was that
Yeah.
Name the album that the song "I Wanna Rock with You" came from. I wanna rock with you.
Thriller.
Was that?
Wait. Oh no!
Was that
Off the Wall.
Off the Wall.
Yeah,
Off
off
the
the wall. Off the wall.
Off the Wall. Yeah.
Pre-Thriller.
I was thinking of the picture of Mike.
Who said we gonna be all right?
Oh, K-Dog. Yeah.
All right. Who shouted out Saba Ranks?
That was Ferg.
Yeah.
Also, that Ferg album is still like,
Trap Lord.
bro.
Yeah, Trap Lord is a classic.
I came I came to start. I was listening to Ferg like later, and back when I was still in DC. One day I was in the gym and I played Trap Lord from like top to bottom. I was like, nah, this nigga really different.
Yeah.
What's the song that a rap group said that they were cooking? They were cooking a certain meal that's Asian inspired.
Oh,
Migos.
Migos, yeah,
Yeah.
stir
Yeah.
fry. Stir fry.
Let's see. All right, the craziest diss of 2013.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
It stirred up the whole industry.
Nah.
Oh,
back to. Was that year? No. That wasn't.
Was that a Controverse?
Oh shit! Yes.
Controverse.
Yeah.
Controverse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 2013.
That shit is over 10 years old. Though.
Yeah. A singing group who all shared the same last name, 5 members.
Oh, Jackson 5.
Yeah. And now that brings us to first thing comes to mind. Pretty simple. I'm gonna say one word. Y'all say one thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right. We got color.
Blue.
Yeah. Damn.
All right. Place.
Home.
DC.
Okay. Country.
America.
Food.
Look at you being patriotic, bro. Yeah, bro. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right, we got. All right, we got food.
I need some
Korean.
Woo.
Korean barbecue. Woo.
Shit. All right, we got smell.
roses.
Okay.
Cinnamon.
Yeah. Sound.
Music. Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Song.
Someday we'll all be free.
Sooner or later.
Okay. Shoe.
Nikes.
Saucony.
Team.
Wizards.
And hero.
Parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 And that brings us to a good.
Yeah, right. Like, man, about to shove me a little turn.
Woo. Yeah. And that brings us to a wonderful end. Black Moss, me, Big T, man. Come on now. Like, give it up, man. Y'all already know. Stay tuned for everything else, man. If they drop a project, we'll be on top of it. If they drop a single, we'll be on top of it, man. Y'all need to be on top of it, like just like we are. Every single moment, every single day.
And if not,
Yeah,
it's still out. It's already out now.
it's already.
Yeah.
It's here.
Get to it. Link in bio. Check them out. Check us out. You already know the drill. Like, subscribe. This has been Yard Talk. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah. Bullets got your name for your mama, even name your stretch marks, but they gon' stretch you till you're famous. White sheets look like sleepovers, they banging. Hands never talk, but fingers speak a language. You either serve God or the gods, nigga. Do you know where you are, nigga? America, pimpin' from a distance till we land. They selling you handouts, then cutting off your hand. Straight from the melting pot into the fire. We all walking on thin ice to ice find you, but not before you owe tenfold of what you needed. Red, white, and blue, but green gon' keep it breathing. David Hammond's flag on the field, niggas porch. I mean a real niggas porch. This a real nigga source. We put the motherland